want to go in the future of our state. It's about protecting what God has given us for our children and children's children. Every single person in this room has a role to play in stewarding our great state and our great nation. So, with that said, I got some really exciting guests that we're going to ask say a few words throughout the evening. And it's people that really have been the voice of truth in many ways. People who have stood up when the government says to bend the knee, they stood up and said, we will not do that. We will stand on what the Constitution says and not what you tell us to do, right? And so the first guy I want to introduce to you, he's been a long-time friend of mine. And I will tell you this right now. If you don't know this about me, one of the paramounts of a free society is the right to bear arms. And so if you ever want to know about anything that has to do with the Second Amendment, there's a guy in Central Indiana that has a little bit of a platform. It's called WIBC. And you might know him. He talks about all the things that we need to do to protect the Second Amendment. He's a friend of mine. It is the gun guy, Guy Relford. Give it up for him as he comes to stage.
I listen to him all the time.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for that reception.
Come back just a little bit because it might be. And hold it up to your mouth. Hold it up to your mouth.
That's what I've been around Micah. I met Micah a few years ago, actually, at a Second Amendment event that we were both invited to come speak to. And I met him, and we had a brief conversation beforehand. We talked about the right to bear arms. And when I heard him speak, he spoke before I did. I immediately said, I like this guy. I like this guy because he stands for conservative Christian principles and constitutional principles. And I've followed him since then, and we've become good friends since then. And when I think about Micah's now run for office, it's something that obviously I'm here to support. I think about something I've been talking about for a long time because, yeah, I'm a Second Amendment guy, but mainly that arises out of the fact that I'm passionate about constitutional rights and about conservative constitutional principles. And one thing that I think this country has gotten completely wrong, and I think for fault lies historically with some real misinterpretations at the Supreme Court level, that this business about separation of church and state. And listen, the establishment clause of the First Amendment is Congress shall make no law regarding the establishment of religion. Right? That means there should be no state-sponsored, government-sponsored religion. And it means that people who are not a member of a particular religion should not be penalized by the government. And that makes perfect sense. And I understand that, and that's the principle. But this separation of church and state, those words are not in the Bill of Rights. They're not in the Constitution.
That's right.
They actually arose out of a letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote in 1802 while he was president to the Baptists of Danbury, Connecticut. And he talked about assuring them they would have religious freedom. And he talked about erecting this wall of separation between church and state. But you know what he never said and he never meant? And what no government official ever said, who are our founders of this great country and who wrote our Constitution, they never said that we should have a separation such that godly principles can't be part of our government.
That's right.
They never said that. In fact, the Establishment Clause, and this is the way I always sum it up, it's meant to keep the government out of religion. It's not meant to keep God out of the government.
Amen.
And that's the way it should be interpreted. That's the way we should go forward. And so when I see that we have people who operate on godly principles, my dad, by the way, bless his heart, 94 years old, still kicking, retired at age 88 as a pastor. I've told Micah that. But when we have people that are willing to operate on constitutional principles, on conservative principles, and on Christian principles,
Amen.
Those, to me, are some of the most important factors we should ever consider when we're talking about who our elected officials should be. And so I'm proud to be here to support Micah. He's the kind of person I think we need in government, and I appreciate the opportunity to come in and say a few words.
check out Guy's show. It's every Saturday at 5 o'clock, right? 5 o'clock in WIBC. I want to introduce you to really the woman who makes everything happen around here, my beautiful wife, Susan. And can we get up for Susan?
That has been amazing, that put all of this hard work and like countless hours and effort. And I had an opportunity to talk on WIBC today just about the immense support and people that are giving their time, their talent, their treasures. It is not lost on us. We see all the reports of every contribution that comes in, and it has meant the world. All the prayers to come in today. We're so excited. We really feel like the Lord is going to show up, and we're so grateful for all of you. So I mentioned WIBC, and I'm excited to share that Rob is going to share. You share.
Yeah, Rob Kendall's here?
Yes.
No, he's not. Who let Rob Kendall in the house? And I think Casey Daniels is here too. So we're gonna invite up now. Okay, you got a little theme here, right? We got the gun guy from WIBC. Now we're going to invite up the stars of the Kendall and Casey show. You have to, Casey. Get up here. What do you never? So come on up. Give it up for Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels.
Man, look at all these beautiful people. Casey, you're pretty beautiful too. Who is sick of the crap going on in this state? Who is sick of record taxes in this state? Who wants to do something about it tomorrow? I met Micah 3 years ago now.
Feels like 100. It feels way longer.
And from the moment I met Micah, you saw it was a person who had a heart not for himself, but for everyone else.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
And that he wasn't interested in bettering himself. He didn't see politics or government or a job in government or an elected position as a way to better himself. He saw it as a way to create a better life for you. And for the past year, he and Susan and their family have given up their lives to crisscross this state for you, for the state of Indiana. And we need more of that in our government because right now it's sorely lacking. And so tomorrow, I really believe this is the last chance for the Republican Party tomorrow as we know it.
Yep.
This is the last chance to stand up for what the party platform says about the Republican Party.
Amen.
People say that to me all the time. Why are you so mean to the Republicans? The Democrats are way worse. Because the Republicans promised me to be better. I know what the Democrats are. The Republicans tell me in their actual party platform they're the party of low taxes and limited government.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sick of them not living up to that.
Right.
And we have a guy here who believes in that with every fiber of his being. He believes in you, and he believes the path to prosperity lies not in the government but in you. And I know he will fight every single day for you. On property taxes, we see people on the verge of potentially being evicted from their homes because they're doubling or tripling every 2 or 3 years. Nobody's standing up for that. You know the one guy who's put an actual plan out there? This guy. And this is our chance. This is our chance to have a fighter in there who cares about you and who will go to bat for you every single day. I can't begin to tell you what this guy would mean to the state of Indiana and what he would mean to all of us and what he would mean to 7 million people. And you are the catalyst to that tomorrow. You, the delegates, are the catalyst to that tomorrow. So if you know somebody who's on the fence, you know somebody that's uncommitted, heck, if you know somebody who is committed, you call them tonight and you tell them what this is all about. We have a person that he's running against who won't let people record her when she's answering questions.
Oh, wow.
Who on television teleconferences with delegates the other night, you had to pre-record your question. Like, not tell them in advance what you were going to ask. Literally, say your question on this recording and we will play it back to her.
Sound like Joe Biden.
They are scared to death of this guy. They literally stole his elected delegates from him. But it's not, he's a figure. It's you. It's you they're actually afraid of. It's you they're trying to take it away from. And tomorrow, you will have your voice heard. Amen. This is your opportunity. Micah, thank you for running. All of you, thank you for being delegates. Susan, thank you for putting up with Micah. And I'm going to turn it over to the better half of the Kendall and Casey show, Casey Dan.
Am I allowed to talk?
It's half your show.
Yeah. I didn't realize that I was going to be speaking, but so I've been at WIBC for just a little over 2 years, and I hear that I have big shoes to fill all the time. And how do you work with this guy? And I understand all that. But I want to talk to you about right now is Micah, because I met him about 1.5 years ago, relatively quickly after I started at the radio station, and at the same time, my husband, the dude who's here with me tonight, was going through some major surgery of his own, some life-saving surgery. And the other day I was deleting some old voicemails that I had received over the past year, and one was from Micah. And I had not known him very long. And he called me and sent me the best message. What do you need? We'll pray for you. We'll put you on the prayer chain at church. Call me if you need to talk. And I did, and I asked him a few things, and he said, just pray. And I did. But it's not like, Micah didn't really know me that long. He wasn't busy with, raising his own 2 children, keeping the fire going with his wife, running Life Church, crisscrossing 92 counties to run for lieutenant governor. And he was thinking of me, somebody who he really didn't know that well. And I really appreciated that. And I thought, if he's going to think of me in that situation, he's going to think of all of us. And so, like Rob said, I encourage you to tell everybody you can to vote for Micah Beckwith, because he is the one who's going to fight for all of us Hoosiers. And I'm glad I did that.